Greetings and thanks for joining us on this paranormal pit stop. Tonight, we'll be exploring a prominent and popular historic hotel located off of South 4th Street in Louisville, Kentucky, that's widely been regarded amongst the finest of accommodations in the country, having hosted everyone from US presidents to legendary artists to the likes of Al Capone and other Prohibition-era mobsters, and rumored to harbor a host of chilling paranormal activity. Are you prepared to brave the history and hauntings of the Seelbach Hilton, Louisville? Historically, in 1874, one Louis Seelbach would establish the Seelbach Bar and Grill off 6th and Main, which would grow wildly in popularity. Following this successful endeavor, Louis would be able to afford to bring his brother Otto from Germany in, and together, in 1891, they would open the first Seelbach Hotel right above Louis's Bar and Grill. While this was a solid start, the brothers wanted more. They wanted an establishment that reflected the grandeur of some European lodgings they'd frequented, and in December of 1903, they'd break ground on a new property, after which, by May 1st of 1905, they would construct and open the Seelbach we know today, just in time for the Kentucky Derby, which would net over 25,000 visitors on its very first day of operation, and would result in a gala that evening, with dinner parties hosted in each of its 150 rooms. Over its first 2 years of operation, the Seelbach would attract growing numbers, and on January 1st of 1907, its premises would be expanded from 150 to 500 rooms. Sadly, in 1925, Louis, who still acted as president of his impressive enterprise, would pass on, after which the hotel would be passed through a number of owners, and would fall into disrepair without the guidance of its talented creator, until a national slump through 1975 resulted in the then owner's bankruptcy, and in the business's final closure. In 1978, famous actor and Louisville native Roger Davis would purchase the old Seelbach. In 1979, he would issue a slew of restoration projects, and the site would finally see a grand reopening on April 12th of 1982. Over the years, the expanse would change hands a number of times, until 1998 when it was purchased under Maristar Hospitality Corp. and was re-established as the Seelbach Hilton. In 2009, it was jointly owned under Interstate Hotels and Resorts and Investcorp while remaining in operation under the Hilton flag. In the same year, notably, the property would see a $12 million renovation overwork. The Seelbach Hilton remains open into the present, offering lavish accommodations, a range of dining options including Gatsby's on 4th, the Oak Room, the old Seelbach Bar, and even a Starbucks, and its iconic Rathskeller, the only surviving Rookwood pottery room on Earth, which was actually a favorite haunt of the legendary Great Gatsby author F. Scott Fitzgerald. Through its years, a number of fables detailing chilling supernatural phenomena have emerged from the Seelbach, with both staff and guests reporting disembodied voices and footsteps from empty rooms, instances of doors opening and closing on their own, and the sense of old-fashioned perfumes and colognes smelled from empty halls. One more popular legend surrounding this aged lodging tells of the Lady in Blue, a specter that's been sighted on numerous occasions and with surprising frequency, who it's theorized might be the spirit of a former guest, Patricia Wilson, who was found deceased at the bottom of an elevator shaft in 1936. Chillingly, the Lady in Blue has been known to manifest as a beautiful young lady in a blue chiffon dress with long dark hair, who's often sighted stepping straight through the sealed doors of elevator port 3. One variation to Patricia's tale tells that what actually happened was that Patricia had just split with her husband of 4 years, and in an effort to work things out, they decided to meet at the Seelbach, but sadly, that he died in an accident en route, resulting in Patricia assuming he'd bailed on her, and in her subsequent suicide by way of jumping into said elevator shaft. A second, slightly more chilling variation tells that on the night of her death, Patricia was witnessed arguing with Lieutenant Governor Henry Denhart, possibly over an affair, and his girlfriend discovering he'd been with other women, when it's said that he assaulted Patricia before throwing her down the shaft. While Denhart was actually investigated for Wilson's death, he would ultimately get off. However, later, he was investigated once more in the killing of his actual girlfriend, and was murdered by her brothers while out on bail, so this variation actually seems pretty feasible as truth. In addition to run-ins with Patricia's chilling manifestation, others have reported the entire elevator system acting as if it has a mind of its own, shooting off to random floors and trapping others within. Reported across the whole of Seelbach Hilton grounds and confined to no area in particular are run-ins with the spirit of an older woman in ragged clothing that's been known to appear in mirrors and other reflective surfaces, and chilling instances in which guests are awakened to the figure of a man standing in their rooms in the middle of the night, sometimes gazing out of windows, who always disappears when lights are turned on. Lastly, when the gettin' was good through Prohibition, some of the US's most famous gangsters would retire to their desired hideaways to drink, smoke cigars, and play cards. The Seelbach would act as one such hideaway to the likes of Al Capone, to George Remus, to Lucky Luciano, and to Dutch Schultz, amongst others. And to date, countless reports detailing encounters with their manifestations have surfaced, as have stories of the disembodied sounds of a crowd and of an old-timey party heard from within the Oak Room, where the old crew was known to gather, even in times in which it was closed. Thanks for tuning in for this Paranormal Pit Stop. If you enjoyed our histories and ghost stories, subscribe to our channel, like this upload, and share us with anyone you feel deserves a good scare. We'll see you next time.